This year's Haddonfield Distracted Driving Awareness Group focused our Champion School project on the idea of it being a shared responsibility to keep our roads safe. We wanted to build upon our efforts of last year to raise awareness on the dangers of distracted driving and engage our entire community.
Haddonfield is a small town with a large downtown shopping area. Vehicles and pedestrians are constantly having to interact. As drivers, we know that pedestrian actions have a direct effect on our decisions as drivers. Therefore, we wanted to help some of our youngest pedestrians make sure they understood how to safely interact with cars and to share the responsibility of making our roads safe.
Over the past few weeks, me and classmates have been going to elementary schools and giving students demonstrations on what it is like to be behind the wheel of a car. We had the students hold a hand in front of their face and look to either side, just as you would in a car for blind spots. We also showed them a video called the awareness test, which most of you have already seen. And this also showed them how easy it is to be distracted behind the wheel of a car.
Elementary kids volunteered and were asked to show the correct way to cross the street, and were asked whether it was safe to cross the street, as well as how to maneuver their bike. We then asked how many kids fought with their siblings in the car, and a bunch of kids just raised their hand and got all giddy and wanted to tell their story. But after that, once they all settled down, they really realized that they can be very distracting to their parents in the car.
At the conclusion of our presentation, the students were asked to take a pledge to be safe pedestrians. They colored a shoe as a symbol of their pledge, and all shoes were hung on a bulletin board in their school to remind them of our lesson and their promise to practice safe habits when walking or riding their bikes around town.
After speaking to all of the elementary classes, we were contacted by one of the teachers. One of her students wrote a paper about wishing that one day people would stop texting and driving. It was really cool to see that our message went beyond the short amount of time that we were there.
We also presented to middle school students on some of these same dangers as well as walking distracted. We shared them on ABC News story, which discusses the increasing dangers of distracted walking and features a New Jersey town that is taking drastic measures to help this growing epidemic.
Again, students were asked to take a pledge to share the responsibility of keeping our roads safe. They were given a post-it note to write their names on, and the post-its were then turned into a banner at the school.
In partnership with Keene University, SJTSA, and Brain Injury Alliance of New Jersey, we hosted a Share the Keys event at our school. Members of our group helped guest speakers present to the parents the understanding of GDL, being good role models, and increasing the time they spend practicing driving with their teens. We found the presentation to be very rewarding to parents and their teens, and it really seemed to spark conversation between them. Several prizes were given to those in attendance, including a free 6 hours behind the wheel at Cornell Driving School in Haddonfield and a teacher's parking spot. Everyone in attendance seemed to really enjoy the presentation. We were even lucky enough to have our presentation filmed to be a part of a training video that will help teach instructors how to give this presentation. Many of our students, along with their parents, were also interviewed for their reactions as well.
The Driving Awareness Group was also given the opportunity to speak at a Haddonfield Board of Education meeting. Here we discussed the board members and members of our community about our project and mission and asked them to sign pledges to avoid being distracted while driving.
This year, as part of our project, we did Power Down Day, where we asked the whole school to turn off their cell phones for an entire day. And almost all the students and staff did this and turned off their phones. And it was funny seeing the administrators carrying walkie-talkies instead of cell phones in case they had to be reached in an emergency. But as a reward, we gave the students Power Ice, which is like an ice pop for powering down.
This year we were able to host an X the Text event as well. We held this event on our second annual Green Day. Green Day was created last year as a symbol of the national color for safe driving awareness. We host our Green Day to honor all the lives that were lost due to distracted-related crashes. On this day, students were asked to wear green to school and come leave their thumbprints on our banner after taking the all-state pledge to not be distracted behind the wheel.
This banner is now hung in our cafeteria, and it is a constant reminder to students of the pledge they made not to text and drive.
Channel 6 ABC was here to cover this event. We were so excited that our message got reached out to such a large population.
Part of National Distracted Driving Month, students and staff at one South Jersey high school pledged to X the text today. One by one, they made the pledge with a thumbprint. Allstate is working with Haddonfield Memorial High and other schools throughout the country to encourage teens to stop texting while driving. The dangerous epidemic takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds each time. At 55 miles per hour, that's like driving the length of a football field while completely blind.
Hopefully both hands are on the steering wheel.
This year's project was really a culmination of all the hard work that these kids have put in over the past year. This has really been a student-driven club. I'm just here really to assist the students. They really have taken the ball and rolled with it because they come up with new ideas, and from there they stem off, and it's constant improvement on the things that we're doing. I think the projects that we worked on this year were extremely effective in reaching our community members, and we hit such a big spectrum of people, a large spectrum of people, that this project can only continue to get bigger and bigger.
Thank you so much for watching our project. I really hope you enjoyed it. We really hope we got our message out to everyone about the shared responsibility between a driver, passenger, and pedestrian. Thank you so much for allowing us to be in this competition. Thank you.